Boy, we are back. We're live from the North Woods of Wisconsin. My name is Pete Robertucci, and this is the Eden Army podcast. I think it's June 25th, season 2, episode 21-ish, maybe. I don't know. And we're coming to you live on YouTube, Facebook, X, and of course our favorite, Kick.com. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Since we were last on, I'd like to thank Miss Meta, Fireman Ed, and of course Miss Terry for your resubscription. It keeps the lights on, that's for sure. Tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about who is actually in charge of the Democratic Party. Do they even know? Antifa. Joe Biden says it's just an idea. Okay, Joe. Unless, of course, you get 45 years in prison for being a member. Senate walks back the restrictions on Trump in the Iranian war. Why did they do that? I'll clue you in on that. Regardless of what mainstream media is going to tell you, I'll tell you why they actually walked that back. And the EU has had enough with immigrant crime. What did their parliament just do? And what did they say as they were doing it? I think they're waking up. Maybe the EU isn't lost after all. And another obstructionist finds out the hard way: don't stand in front of a moving car. I've also gotten a bunch of questions in the past about how I come up with some of my content for my books. And I know you guys probably had seen this before on my social media pages, but we're going to run it again. We're going to go inside a scene from Birchwood Burning and introduce you to the Ranch Supper Club. A short 39-minute drive out of the village of Birchwood is a small town called Hayward, Wisconsin, home of one of the Midwest's most iconic supper clubs, the Ranch. Pete Robertucci. I know there has been a lot of questions about supper clubs up in Wisconsin and how I developed some of the scenery here, but this is actually the supper club that Dalton and Elise had their first date on. So welcome to the Ranch Supper Club in Hayward, Wisconsin. No visit would be complete to a supper club without having a traditional old-fashioned. And Melissa likes the lemon drop martini. The first thing to hit the table is a staple at a supper club, which is the relish tray. And it's got some unique things that you might only find in the Midwest. The Ranch Supper Club in Hayward, Wisconsin. Thanks for having us, and thanks for being the inspiration for one of the scenes in our book, Birchwood Burning. We'll see you again. All right, that was the Ranch Supper Club, Hayward, Wisconsin. And for all of you that were wondering what was that, I was so uh,
Hesitant,
worried about
hesitant.
trying right there. That was pickled herring, and I
Well,
didn't
that's what
think
I
I was
thought.
going to like it, but I actually it was really good. What's going on, Russ Sawyer?
Oh man, same old man. You know how it goes. We're up in the Northwoods. All we do is write and work on podcasts.
Yeah, weather was good at least today. I was able to
Yep,
get some sun in. Got a packed ass house
me too,
in
man.
chat. I've been trying to throw everyone's what's up, hey, all that good stuff while we were going. But yeah, Rev likes the pickled herring. It was really good. I was surprised. I was like sniffing it. That was
Yeah,
actually like that was
I'd
the
be
third
hesitant.
take, and I was like, okay, I'll try it now.
Yeah, I'd be hesitant on it. That's just not that.
No, it was
Yeah.
it was really good. It was really, really good.
Mm,
Guys, I want to touch bases about something that was a little confusing on the internet this week. And it had to do with the suppressor ruling that came down. Originally, people were talking about the Supreme Court ruled on suppressors. It wasn't the Supreme Court, it was the Fifth Circuit Court. But it was a major win for the Second Amendment because what the court actually ruled was that suppressors are protected arms because they, well, make firearms safer, right? And more effective by reducing noise, recoil, and muzzle blast. And some would say improving control, but I don't know about all that. But the court did not strike down the NFA. So that's the big confusion. So your unregistered suppressors are not all of a sudden legal. So if you've got some of those oil can suppressors you might have made or found in a garage, still not legal, guys. But that is a big win. Bottom line is the Ninth District originally ruled another way, Russ, and then the Fifth District ruled in the opposite direction. So at the end of the day, the Supreme Court sooner or later is going to have to
yep, they're gonna
see
have to.
this. So good stuff. But yeah, I wanted to clear that up before we got too far into that because people are really super confused about what that actually means. So look, we so far in the last year or so, we've gotten rid of the $200 tax stamp.
Like stamp.
Good. And my buddy Scott, who lives in Connecticut, was actually a disabled, what company did he run? It was a nonprofit, disabled firearm veteran fire. Anyway, it was basically he was lobbying Connecticut for the longest time, saying this exact thing. Look, foregrips are better for disabled veterans and Americans who use firearms, and suppressors are better for people that are having tinnitus and stuff like that. So
What?
Fifth Court, I think, is Virginia area, right? Or is
Yeah, I
that the
believe
Southern
so.
District? Let me look it up real quick.
I don't know.
Let me look. Fifth Court is located where? Fifth Court, oh, the Fifth Judicial Court contains, well, that's federal. Let me look that, because that's actually saying Southern Wisconsin. Let me look at federal court. Find that out real quick. New Orleans, Louisiana. There you go. So there you go. Fifth
Well,
District Court is Louisiana.
yeah, well, I had to say, the folks are getting their preps in early today.
I know. Good.
Yeah, we got 5 in already, and we've only
Good. Well,
been
that
doing
could
this for 9 minutes.
good. Well,
That's
that can
pretty impressive.
make up for some of the stuff that I did not get done. But I did get a lot of writing done, so that's a good thing. Hey, the mama, what's up? Skidmore, good seeing you, brother. Tawas, Michigan, sitting in the back. Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad you made it up there. All right. Texas, Louisiana, etc. There you go. Exactly, Diana. She says the Texas area, Louisiana, etc., etc. That is correct. Happy birthday to little seven. Oh, happy birthday,
Oh,
little
very cool.
seven. Oh, goodness. All right, so we got that cleared up, Russ. We're going to jump right into it, unless you got something before we get into it.
Nah, man. Let's jump right into this one because this next one is interesting, I would
Uh,
say.
I love this because it's an FAFO moment. An
Hmm.
obstructionist was ran over by a worker while protesting. This is what happens when a protest turns into obstruction, right, Russ? You can
That's
chant,
right.
you can yell, you can hold signs, but when you put yourself in front of a moving vehicle, when would they learn? when you put yourself in front of a moving vehicle and try to shut down workers just for doing their job, reality has a way of showing up fast. Play stupid games, Russ.
Win stupid prizes.
A woman struck and tossed to the tarmac. Violent video of a driver hitting a Minnesota woman who was protesting outside of an ICE facility. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. That woman is on the road to recovery. New at 5, Frankie McLister just spoke with her about what happened and figured out who was behind the wheel.
A shocking sight outside of a New Jersey ICE facility. An activist from St. Paul, Minnesota, who drove to Delaney Hall to protest, suddenly struck by a facility worker.
I have not processed it. I don't have room to process it.
Russ, there is no doubt that even before she got hit by the car, she didn't have the mental capacity to process much. What have you learned about this young lady who was just peacefully protesting?
Yeah, peacefully protesting that has done it all the way back to the George Floyd days. But then she took a hiatus from like 5 years, no social media at all. She's some kind of a wedding planner, wedding photographer. But I mean, unless you're doing a lot of weddings, how are you going to afford to get from Minnesota to New Jersey? Number one, why would you want to go to New Jersey in the first place? But, and nothing against people who live in New Jersey. I just got to say that. I got a buddy of mine from there. But, you know, it's just, it makes no sense, man. And, you know, they showed it up in Wisconsin. I guess Minnesota folks just don't understand that you got to get out of the way of a 2,000+ pound vehicle when it's coming toward you. Maybe they missed that. Maybe they missed that that lesson in school. I don't know.
Well, it's the Leering Center, right? The Leering Center didn't teach them that. So here's the 2 rules for you Minnesota people, right? You Minnesota people, don't hit the accelerator when there's a federal officer in front of your car. And if there's a car coming down the road, don't dance and wave a flag regardless of what the flag was. You're going to get hit. And I wonder if they burned that flag. I wonder if they turned that flag in or burned it or did the proper thing with it since it touched the ground, Russ.
But, you know, she started some kind of a GoFundMe before going over there, and I got so much stuff donated to her. She had to rent a trailer to take all the stuff because she's the logistician over there.
Well, and the other thing is if you look at the people, they gave credits to who actually uploaded the video. Mm-hmm. So the news agency gave credits, and they are the farthest left-leaning organizations, paid protesting organizations is what they are. So good. I'm glad that happened to her. You know what she's going to do. Now she's going to say, I got PTSD, my neck hurts, my brain's not working, I can't have kids, and I can't do my wifely duties, so I have to sue everybody. But
yeah, and guys, I don't know why my mic is low. Does it sound low to you, Pete?
No, it sounds perfect to me.
I mean, I'm on my settings here. I'm wide open. I'm pegging out.
Good. Yeah, you're right, Patrick. Just forget that little speed bump and speed up as fast as you can. Hit. That's when you should actually hit the accelerator, not when there's a federal officer in front of you. Dum-dums. Who knows? Who knows? Has anybody seen Javi in the house yet? Javi, you in the house, brother?
Haven't seen him yet.
Nick Meacher made it in there.
Oh, they're saying we're both low.
Look, that's just the I'm turned up pretty loud, but that is just the laid back North Woods thing, I think.
Yeah,
plus,
must be.
And plus I don't have the microphone crammed up next to me right now because I don't like my setup, Russ. I'm not liking it.
Yeah, I know.
Rev's on fire.
He is.
Tooch is good. I'll drop my.
Well, I don't know what to do other than yell, and then I'll blow Pete's eardrums out.
Yeah.
So
no, you're good.
I just turned the volume up on Restream. It was low, but
yes, Chrissy, they are NPR. So good. Okay, so everybody should be good now. You turned that up. Good. That helped. Battle Gnome said that helped.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I turned it up.
There we
I
go.
don't know why that was turned down.
All right. So that's it. So guys, just on a personal note, I know I don't talk about it in the monologue, but I am getting a lot of writing done and getting some really good feedback from people I've sent the first 6 or 7 chapters to. So we will certainly see when I'm done, but words are flowing, it's happening. And hopefully we'll get that done within the next month or so and get it out to the editor and then work on, of course, now that I'm up here, everybody wants me to work on the Birchwood stuff. So it's coming. I promise. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Hey, Miss
all the
Joey,
folks
how
up
you
here,
doing?
all the folks up here are asking about it.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I was going to kill everybody off and then they won't ask about it anymore.
And yeah, they will.
Hold on, let me see here what Patrick says here. What about Rashid Tlaib crossing the red line and saying that Antifa in Texas not only did anything wrong, but I saw that. And she's basically saying it's political. So what Patrick is talking about, he's talking about the 8 members of the North Texas Antifa Cell that were sentenced to a combined 450
50 days.
2025 attack on the Prairieland ICE Detention. Of course, that's in Texas. Prosecutors said they used explosives, they vandalized the facility, and opened fire on police, seriously wounding one officer, caught him with a round in the neck. I think he's since recovered. The ringleader, Mr. Benjamin Song, received by himself 100 years.
Yeah.
The message is pretty clear, regardless of what Ms. Tlaib would like to say. This was not treated as a protest. It was treated as political violence against law enforcement, and it was organized. I'm going to run a clip, Patrick, for you. And remember, guys, just remember this. Antifa is just an idea, bro.
I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacist. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia. That's what.
The ringleader of the ambush at the Prairieland ICE Detention Facility was sentenced to 100 years in prison.
7 other defendants received sentences ranging from 30 years to 70 years. Fox 4's Lori Brown live at the federal courthouse in Fort Worth with the latest. Lori.
Heather, Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche said in a statement that these sentences make it clear that terrorists who threaten law enforcement as well as federal facilities will face swift justice. This all happened July 4th. Last year, the group of protesters set off fireworks that damaged buildings and vehicles at the ICE Detention Center in Prairieland. Alvarado Police Lieutenant Thomas Gross responded to the report of vandalism. When he arrived and began issuing commands, Song can be heard on body cam video yelling, "Get to the rifles." Prosecutors say he then shot Officer Gross in the neck. Gross survived and returned to active duty. Prosecutors called the attack an ambush orchestrated by Song. They say that he and other participants are members of the far left movement known as Antifa.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
You got it.
Not militia. That's what.
Defense attorneys argued there was no ambush and that the event was intended to be a peaceful protest to show support for immigration detainees. The case marks the first federal indictment involving Antifa-related domestic terrorism charges. Attorneys for Song and Zachary Evans spoke with us right after the sentencing. They said that they believe politics influenced the length of the sentences. They range from 30 years to 70 years for the 7 co-defendants and 100 years for Benjamin Song.
Antifa is just an idea, Russ. It's just an idea. It's not
just
real.
an idea.
So,
and I hope this is the first of many.
Well, you haven't heard much from them since they went after. Well, first of all, since we got rid of U.S. aid, weird, and since we're now promising to go after some of the funding sources, you're not hearing much from these friggin' basement dwelling scumbags.
Yep.
So,
but the outliers, they go to New Jersey and get hit by cars. So,
yeah. Let's see. Diana says we have a woman in Arizona that's a DACA and married to an illegal. She attacked an LO. Yeah. It's BLM. Well, first of all, BLM shot themselves in the foot when they started buying expensive cars and houses with all the money they were donated that got donated to them. And hell, we know most of the people that donated to BLM because a lot of them are leftist politicians, for the love of God. Kamala
Yep.
Harris donated.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but they haven't crossed the line into being designated as a domestic terrorist organization. Now, when BLM first came out, I was like, yeah, I understand it. They're doing it. You know what actually made them violent was this Antifa group. They infiltrated the protest and they took advantage of the situation. That's when Antifa grew their roots. So now, so BLM is gone. Black Panthers now are making a comeback, but whatever.
Yeah.
Boxes. I'm just reading chat, guys. You guys are blowing.
Hobby
it
is
up.
in
I
there
love
now.
it.
Hobby is in there now.
Gotcha. Good to see you, my brother from a browner mother. He's in Puerto Rico. Hi, Javi. Did you guys? I saw a weird thing on the news saying that there was a tsunami warning in Puerto Rico with seas expected to be upward of 1 foot.
Oh wow.
I don't know if that was true or not, or just something. Yeah, there you go.
He says yes.
So guys, just so you know, there was a bunch of earthquakes yesterday in Venezuela, and also at the same time or shortly thereafter in Japan.
There wasn't one in California as well?
No, we can only hope. We can only hope.
We need to hit the Andreas Fault.
Yeah, and just drop it off into the Pacific. But kind of weird that there were so many earthquakes. Well, not really weird. I mean, if you follow that kind of stuff, I guess. But Venezuela, so the American government is promising to send search and SAR groups to Venezuela. Marco Rubio said that the response will be quick and effective, from what I understand. Reading chat.
Before I don't know if you want to. I'm going to start this real quick. I don't know if you want to talk about this now or hold off on it.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, Julia says she's pretty worried about the 4th of July protests and crazy stuff. I don't necessarily disagree with that, Julie. And my opinion, especially if it comes back down to situational awareness, know your area. And if you don't feel comfortable of going to some type of a public celebration, don't.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't think we have anything to worry about up here, but I'm not going to. Hold on, guys. Hold on, just 1 second. Hold on here. Hello, welcome to Eden Army Podcast. Thanks for calling in. What's your name and your question?
My name's Brianna.
Hey, Brianna, what's your question for this evening?
I just wanted to know how the podcaster was doing.
Well, the podcast is going great. It's swimmingly. We're actually in the middle of the podcast right now, but that shows you the importance of all of my callers, that I'll take this call in the middle of the podcast. So any other questions this evening for the podcast?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, well, thanks for calling in. I know you're a long-time listener, a first-time caller. I appreciate you. Have a great night. This is my life, Russ. This is my life.
You can't make this stuff up,
No,
man. And you can tell in her voice. She goes, "Oh shit, I should have looked at the clock."
Oh, it never ends. So yeah, like Russ was saying, I'm not elevating my threat level more than a yellow, which is where it normally is. Stay away from soft targets. I'm not going to go into crowded areas. It's just not going to happen for me. So keep your head on a swivel. That's what we do all the time anyway. But in the big cities, is there a potential for some events to happen? Sure. I think that would be a mistake for any group that tried that. But it could happen. But we also saw look, they had the UFC fight, right? They were trying to target that thing.
Yep, I was just getting ready to say that. That as easy as that one appeared to have been stopped, could it have been a false flag just to test the capabilities.
Well, I mean, the response was already there, but my real question was, how is the FBI involved? And they have a tendency to try to lead criminals to the spot they want them to get to. So what was the involvement of the FBI? And I'd like to hear some more about it before I make a decision on all that.
Yeah.
That's all right, baby girl. It was perfect. Patrick Seven says they did fireworks in Detroit on Monday and it turned into a team takeover. Hey, Patrick, is it true what I read that the Muslims in the Detroit and Dearborn area are upset about the church bells on Sunday because it's interrupting their call to prayer? Answer that. I know you're in the know when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I don't know, Russ. I don't know. I can't stay in charge of everything. It's just not possible for me.
It's not.
No.
We try,
We tried it. We try to be in charge. We try to be on top of it. We get phone calls. We get great questions from Patrick. I love them all. But the other organization that doesn't really know who's in charge is the Democratic Party. And Rick Scott had something to say about that because it gets right to the bigger question. Who is actually in charge of the Democratic Party right now? Russ, is it the elected leadership? Not sure. Activists? Don't know. Donors? Probably. The media, we know, is the propaganda arm for them. Nobody really knows anymore. Rick Scott lays it out right here. And whether you agree with Rick Scott or not, this is a question Democrats, Russ, are not even willing to answer who's in charge of their own damn party.
Couple of other topics for Senator Rick Scott of Florida. I want to talk about the dramatic left turn that is taking place inside the Democratic Party. I'm sure you saw the results of the election, primary election up in New York this week. You see what's happened in Maine with the Democrat Senate candidate there. The leader of the Democratic primary in Michigan is one of these same sort of Mamdani style radical socialists. What do you make of the Democrats turning? I say a left turn. It's not even a left turn. This is a radical, anti-American, anti-Western civilization turn. What do you make of it? Have your colleagues in the Democratic Party, has Chuck Schumer completely lost control of the party here?
Well, I was at the White House this morning talking to the president.
Russ, let me pause this for a second because Rick Scott needs to work on his green screen. And either that or he's one of the aliens we're talking about.
Yeah.
We talked about this. I mean, these people are crazy. I mean, yes. They're anti-Semites. They want to get rid of all the police. They want socialism. They hate capitalists. I mean, one of the guys, Hassan Piker, who's called for my murder and every capitalist murder, I mean, he endorses them. That's the Democrat Party. Now, Chuck Schumer, all the Democrats, they're scared to death of losing an election, so they're okay. And then so Chuck Schumer just says nothing about AOC, nothing about Mamdani. They run the party now. And so here's a way every American needs to think about it. You can go vote, all right? You can go vote for socialism or communism, what do you want everyone call it? All right, you can go vote that and you'll get it. If you want to get out of it, you have to shoot your way out. Look at what happened in Venezuela. Chavez got elected, right? They still haven't gotten back all their rights yet. And so we have got to fight. This is a revolution the Democrats are trying to do to destroy this country.
Miss Melissa asked me a question. She goes, what's the difference between a democratic socialist and a regular socialist? And I thought about it for a minute. And I go, back in the 60s and 70s, there was a Communist Party for America, American Communist Party. But that went by the wayside so fast because, of course, nobody wants to vote for a communist, right? The Democratic Socialist Party is the modern age Communist Party. That's exactly what it is right there. So, of course, they embrace the Muslims. Little do they know that the Muslims are using them as pawns. And these Democratic Socialists / communists are basic. Look, the Muslims already said they're useful idiots, Russ. They're useful idiots. So, but they're gaining. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But what they're doing, Russ, is they're gaining traction. Mondami endorsed 3 candidates in the primaries in New York, and all 3 of them won their primaries. So they're gaining traction, especially in these heavily blue states, these metropolitan areas. Yeah. But all of their policies are already failing. We're already starting to see them failing, and they're backtracking on their policies, on what they actually campaigned on. And the money is leaving their cities because they don't want to get their shit taxed out of them.
Yeah, so, and it's leaving in droves. And, you know, I did a quick search on that. It was either 34 or 37 different elections were won by Democratic Socialists during the primaries. And most of them are places you would figure. L.A., Seattle, New York. And then in the traditionally blue cities in more purple or even a couple of red states, they're gaining traction. And I think Scott hit it on the nail on the head. They're gaining that traction. And eventually the Democratic Party that we grew up in and know of as today is going to be gone away, or either we're going to end up in a third party system. Because the socialists are going to try to take it over, because as soon as they can get enough votes, they're going to oust the Democrats. Are going to be able to vote them out.
Yeah, and actually, what's happening? Let me address this real quick, Rev. Don't get confused by this. This is something that the Democrats have tried to say for a long time, that the parties actually switched. No, Democrats back in our day had common sense, and they rode the line. Right, I was a Democrat, Russ. I was a Democrat when I was in my 20s, before I got some brains. But what the Democrats tried to spew over the years was that the ideology swapped. The ideology never swapped, because what the Democrats were trying to do is they were trying to run from their racist history that they had, their segregationist history, their Jim Crow history, their slavery history. So what they tried to do is say, no, the ideologies of the parties actually swapped. So now we're going to blame the Republicans for being the racist. We're going to blame the Republicans for holding the black man down. That's never the case. What happened with the Democratic Party is what happens with all leftist parties. They swing further to the left. And this is what's happening with the Democratic Party. And the treasonous bastards that are actually midline Democrats are too afraid to confront the real radical leftists within their party, because they're afraid they're going to get primaried and kicked. And guess what? That's actually what's happening. They are getting primaried. So there you go. That was long-winded. That was long-winded, Russ.
Yeah, Tom finally joined the chat. He's out having a beer. Two Gun Tom. Tom, two of everything.
Every time I see him, he's drinking something.
I know, right?
I think we are a bad influence on Two Gun Tom.
We might have been, yeah. But yeah, you know, I'll have to agree with what you said. I was sitting here processing it. You know, the Civil Rights Amendment and everything else was really signed. It was signed into law by Democrats. You know, JFK, Lyndon B. Johnson, all of them were the ones proponents of it. Two, tried to make the Democratic Party look better in the eyes. But the Democratic Party, all they're still doing, and if we get banned from this, I apologize up front, they're still trying to enslave minorities. They may not have actual chains on them anymore or get whipping posts, but keeping them down by saying, yeah, we'll give you all this money so you don't have to do nothing. You know,
Russ, I'm in the middle of writing a small dissertation on all that. And the name of the book is called the small book is called The Inferiority Complex. And what that is that's basically what the Democratic Party has instilled on minorities over the years. You are inferior in the eyes of big government, so you can never exceed because the cards are stacked against you. So if you constantly instill that from elementary school into, what have you done? You just gain voters because the Democratic Party is the only one that's ever going to help you. But over the years, the Democratic Party has done nothing, because as soon as the election cycle runs through, they don't pass shit for the minorities. Who always passes stuff? The Republican Party. And that's not Pete talking. That's facts. That's actual history. Whatever. Okay, you got that one. Good.
Yep, I got that one.
You guys are making me get on my damn soapbox tonight.
Yeah, this is awesome, man.
Ooh.
It just blows my mind that common sense is no longer a thing.
Common sense is no longer a thing. Trying to erase history is the thing now. And the flip-flopping is a big thing, Russ. The flip-flop. You look at any politician nowadays, and all they ever do is flip-flop. Much like the Senate did on this war actions thing that they tried to first.
Yeah, what
was it?
What was his name? Bill Cassidy, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bill Cassidy.
He's one of the ones that flipped because he lost. He got butt hurt.
Yeah. Well, he got because so background on that. Bill Cassidy actually got primaried by someone that Trump endorsed, so he was butt hurt. So the war resolution thing in Iran, he voted to limit the powers of Donald Trump during the Iranian war. He has since flip-flopped. We're going to talk about that because I actually have a little write-up here about it. The Senate just changed direction, much like the Democrats. On the Iran war powers, Senator Bill Cassidy originally voted to limit President Trump's authority in the Iran conflict. But after he got all the intelligence, after he got a private intelligence briefing on what's actually going on, he reversed course and voted with Republicans, with Rand Paul also. He switched to block the war powers restriction. Trump was initially angry. This is what you're going to hear in legacy media, that Trump went in to the chamber and he yelled at him, and there was a huge shouting match. But he was pissed off because the Senate was trying to limit his negotiating power with Iran in the middle of negotiations. The threat alone of increased or an uptick in military action is the only thing America had, other than shutting down the Straits of Hormuz for Iranian traffic. That was our only negotiation tool. So what Donald Trump did do is he went into the chambers and he says, "What are you idiots doing? I have one bargaining chip here. I have one threat, is that we're going to bomb the shit out of you if you don't come to the table. And now you're going to say that I have to remove all the troops out of the region? What kind of negotiators are you? Are you a pack of retards?" Which they're not a pack of retards. What they are is cowards. On one side of the aisle, you have a bunch of treasonous bastards. On our side of the aisles, you have a bunch of cowards, right? But here's the clip on the war's power reversal.
New this morning, a Senate shift following a rare verbal confrontation with the president over the war in Iran. Two Republican senators who broke with their party on a war powers resolution switched course and did not support a similar measure late Wednesday. In the heated private meeting, the president and some Republicans aired their anger.
He was mad as a murder hornet.
At the center, Louisiana Republican Bill Cassidy, who lost his primary to a Trump-backed challenger. He had been one of 4 Republicans who had voted for a war-related measure that had no force of law. During the private lunch, Cassidy argued that the president failed to provide necessary information about Iran. Cassidy was later invited to the White House Situation Room for a high-level briefing.
Yeah, so it's not that he was never briefed. He was pissed off because he got primaried. Now, look, I get it. Rand Paul, he's never been a war guy. He's all about, look, war costs too much money. We shouldn't be doing this. America first. He's always been fiscally responsible like that, which I understand. Yep. But this Cassidy goon didn't even have all the information, or failed to listen to the information about what Iran was doing and the big plan. And once he opened his eyes, I guess he saw that probably a bad idea to limit the powers of the president during a wartime operation.
Yeah. And, you know, and another thing I saw in regards to all that, you know, in the midst of all these negotiations, evidently there was some type of an event that, you know, Trump was there and Rubio was there while Vance and all the other folks were over doing the thing, you know, doing the treaty talks and stuff like that. And mainstream media tried to paint it as Rubio was at a party instead of he should have been over there, you know, doing his thing over there with the folks working on the treaty. And he lit them up. He's like, if you look, I left that party, I left the room like 6 times, took calls from them to include 2 secure calls, and came back and briefed the president on what was going on, because that's my job.
With the exception of POTUS, Marco Rubio is the busiest man within that administration. Not only is he busy, but he's the most articulate, and he has all the facts on everything before he ever steps in front of a camera, ever.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, Tom, I'm with you, brother. I'm very impressed by him. I know he has there's mixed opinions in chat about him, but he didn't do much as a senator for the most part, although he did predict exactly what Iran was going to do almost 10 years ago. But in this administration, he's super impressive, and he's definitely he's going to be in higher office, whether it be VP or president.
Yeah.
We're going to see. You know, I'm with you, Diana. It's almost time to glass them. It's almost time to just make a parking lot out of that place. They're stalling. The Iranians are stalling. It's a stall tactic. It's what they've been doing with every administration since the day I was born. It's time now just to grab the kahunas and make it happen. Yeah, you're right. Well, exactly. I don't know. He's pretty much done every job in the administration, and he's done every job freaking well. So there you go. Good stuff.
Okay, so before we move on, personal opinion. If it is, do you think it should be a Rubio Vance ticket or a Vance Rubio ticket?
I put this out on social media a while ago, and I'm a fan, and I'll tell you why. I have a meaning behind it. I'm a fan of a Vance Rubio ticket, right, with Vance being president. The reason I say that is because, first of all, J.D. Vance is very smart. I think he'd be even smarter with a vice president like Rubio. And I think J.D. Vance will further the MAGA agenda more than Rubio will. I think Rubio is a politician first. I think Vance is an American first. That's why I think that ticket would be best. And then 8 years after that, Rubio goes in with who? Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
That's a good ticket, and that'll solidify the next 16 years for us if that happens.
At least. And then after that, it could well, let's see, 16 more years.
Yeah. Well, after this term. And
now,
then,
is there an age limit for vice president?
No. Well, you talking about youth as far as being
to be a vice president?
I think 35.
Is it 35?
I think so.
Not
I think
quite.
Byron Donaldson might be a good candidate for something after all of that, but I don't know yet. We'll see how he does as governor of Florida first, should he win that election.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's what I was thinking also.
That's what I think so too. But you know, we've dealt with all of this stuff, you know, war powers in Iran, who's in charge of the Democratic Party. You know, has the EU maybe started to grow a little bit of a spine back?
Well, I'm not sure if the EU actually, it appears that the majority of the EU is actually waking up to the invasion that's been happening for the last 4-6 years against them. The European Parliament, Russ, just voted to back a tougher immigration return policy aimed at speeding up deportation. So look, we're not going to wait so long. We're going to get you out of here a little bit quicker. They're going to deport migrants with no legal right to stay within the EU. So all those ships, those dinghies that came over, they're going to start deporting it. So after the vote, right-wing EU members chanted, "Send them back," while the opponents shouted, "Shame on you." So much like we're seeing here in the United
Wait a
States.
minute. I was going to say, where have we heard that before?
And it's exactly, and a lot of it is, well, supporters say Europe's finally, like you say, is finally getting serious about enforcing immigration law, when of course the critics say the policy goes too far. Either way, the message is pretty clear. I think the tide's changing. The European invasion is over with. The Europeans are sick and tired of all the crimes going on that's happening within, and quite frankly, you see that the UK, the Prime Minister of the UK said that what did he say? The UK's budget is actually, the money they're taking in the UK is smaller than every single state within the United States. So every state in the United States has a higher budget, has a higher amount of income than the entire country of Britain. The UK is falling, and these social policies that they're having to enact because of all these illegal immigrants coming across the damn sea there is making them even broker. Here's some videos.
Chants of "send them back" broke out in the EU Parliament on June 17th after a sweeping migration and deportation regulation was passed with a staggering 418 to 218 vote. The vote came after many EU member states had become growing more and more frustrated over increased immigration, from delayed asylum screenings, struggles to enforce deportation with only 20% of those who receive return orders obeying, population and facility overcrowding. The vote also comes after multiple immigrant-related crimes have happened in the past few months. From the stabbing of Stephen Ogilvie by a Sudanese migrant in Belfast, Northern Ireland, to the decapitation of a German woman by a Moroccan national in Florence, Italy. In response, many protests and riots have broken out across European nations, demanding reform to deport illegal migrants and start focusing on their own people.
Well, you're right. We're not deporting enough, and we're actually deporting less than the Obama administration deported.
Imagine that.
So the EU's waking up. Normally, we lag behind the EU on situations like this. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't have any... Look, America's Next. What did Patrick say? James Carville. James Carville was a political strategy guy for the Democrats. James Carville went on TV and said there needs to be a what's he say? A schism in the Democratic Party, and he doesn't side with the. So he's saying there's a split in the Democratic Party. They need to split, and he doesn't side with the communists. Yeah. And he's been a moderate. Look, James Carville, who, by the way, James Carville's married to a very prominent Republican. I think might be a news anchor or something like that, but she's a Republican regardless. And he's always been a moderate, hardworking moderate. And I very rarely agreed with what he said, but I appreciated how his intellect took over his emotion at times. He was very smart. The party needs to split. Here's the thing: if the Democratic Party splits, we're going to have a GOP Senate and House for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So, let me pop that up. I'll save that one.
Well, and for all our ham nerds out there, Corey just posted this weekend is the annual ARRL field day. Find a site near you and go meet some other nerds. I don't know if there's one near us or not, Pete.
I don't know.
Probably Eau Claire or someplace like that.
Oh, yeah, Eau Claire. Man, I'd say Eau Claire would probably be the closest. Yeah, just build a trebuchet and send them back over the wall. I'm with you. Bullshit.
Can I pull the lever?
Yeah,
hey, there you go. Build it, make it functional, charge $100 a pop to pull the lever. We'll be out of our deficit in no time.
What show does auto delete? Yeah, exactly. Yep, and sell tickets. Let's see what else here. I'm reading now. We're just going back through chat. When I get on a roll, I miss chat, Russ.
Injunction filed against State Virginia Police Enforcement of AWB. AWB, I'm not familiar.
Rev, do I need to fly down to Florida and have a chat with you? Because you've been a little hostile tonight. Not that I disagree with any of that, by the way. Yeah, well, I can't. Speaking of the SAVE Act, this is the other thing that's in the news, is that President Trump refuses to sign the housing bill because the Republicans are too weak and cowardly to pass the SAVE Act. So that's been a big deal going on. But this very well may be right. And look, there's one reason why the Democrats want to keep the SAVE Act, and it has nothing to do with election integrity. It has nothing to do with disenfranchising minority votes. It's to rig a friggin' election. Well, did you guys see? I'm all over the place. Gotta take my Adderall or something. Did you guys see that the United Postal Service says that states that don't comply with the mail-in ballot EO will not get sent mail-in ballots? That'll go to the courts.
Oh, I'm sure it will, but I agree with it. They got to the postmaster, evidently.
Battle Gnome says 20 miles away looks like a small group. Everything is 20 miles away from where I'm at, so that's a short distance.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll throw up an antenna.
Yeah, Richard Bailey was talking up here. The injunction has been filed against the Virginia State Police enforcement of the assault weapons ban. Will last until at least December.
The assault weapons ban that I believe the court said that the police department, if they comply or arrest anybody for that ban, that's affecting their Second Amendment rights. So that's another thing that's going on. There's a lot going on in the Supreme Court right now. Holy crap. I couldn't keep track of it all. Let's see what Will has to say here. Will says, I just watched an interview with Eric Prince. He states to continue allowing Antifa and BLM to avoid prosecution when our time comes. It'll never happen. It'll never happen because here's the deal. We're behind the 8 ball with stacking these jurisdictions with like-minded judges.
Yes, all the courts. Yep.
Until we get county judges, I'm talking all the way down to county levels. Until we get county judges that act sane and don't show political bias, then this will never happen. We will be prosecuted for looking the wrong way at an Antifa rioter after he hits us in the head with a fucking baseball bat.
I hear that. And Teresa posted in the Senate just went on vacation for another 19 days again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because they're hiding. They're hiding from Donald Trump because they're cowards. GOP, you guys are all cowards. You're talking about an 80-20 bill. 80% of the Americans want the SAVE Act passed. So now what they're trying to do, guys, is say, look, we're going to take certain parts out of the SAVE Act and try to get that passed, and that'll stop the infighting with the GOP. No, you have the numbers, pass the SAVE Act, be done with it. And if it takes getting rid of the filibuster, get rid of the filibuster, or do a reconciliation bill, for the love of God.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, more and more makes me wish that we had term limits. And term limits to the extent, and I said this before, hey, there's no reason for a politician to leave their state unless there's a call for a vote.
Yeah.
Make them stay home, have them paid the average of the citizens in their state, the average of the citizens of their state, and that's what they get paid. And they stay the hell home and do their job there.
Yeah, do something. Look, in this day and age, you can't cast a vote from your house. Shit, teachers now are working from their house. Let me see. Let me look.
Yeah, I mean,
up there.
COVID proved that. COVID proved they could do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem with them coming to Congress to cast their votes. They come in, they cast their votes. They have any mini meetings 1 week for once the vote is called, and then they carry their ass back home.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if bullshit.
Springbrook.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there was the 225 Act tried to push national reciprocity. Who knows? From what I do understand is that whatever doesn't get seen within, well, today's done, but today and tomorrow, SCOTUS Supreme Court is going to be gone for the summer. So if it's not seen within today or tomorrow, it's not going to be seen until they come back into session, unless it's an emergency. Then they'll come back into session, but not any emergencies out there.
Yeah. Well, Corey says the closest one is in Springbrook, and the next closest and probably the bigger one is in Gem Falls.
I don't know where that's at.
I don't know where Gem Falls. I've heard of Springbrook, but I don't know where Gem Falls is.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap! This hour flew by, Russ. Holy crap! You know what time it is?
It's time for this week's prep of the week.
We start off, Russ.
All right. Miss Diana says she got some essential tests done, and Diana, we hope those tests come back in your favor. I know what you're kind of going through over there, so prayers to you.
Yeah. Let's see. Rev gave the first prep of the week. He says he's wants everybody to look at where we're going to spend eternity and make sure it's the right spot. But after some of your comments tonight, Rev, me and you are going to have a talk. We're going to have a face-to-face, I think. I'm going to fly you up here. You're going to hang out on the 40 acres, and me and you're going to have a little...
he did... I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack because he just finished with Vacation Bible School last week. And my memories of Vacation Bible School, from a kid's standpoint, it was just wide open all the time. So he might just be a little shell-shocked. So I'm going to give him a pass this week.
I'll agree with that. What's Patrick got going on here?
He said he got his Jeep outfitted with all the kits and necessities. So are you going to drive that to Fallout there, Patrick? Or are you going to try to drive your Hunko vehicle?
Battle Gnome says he's overhaul on his solar system at the house. What size system you got over there? And I've got like a 6 kW system on my house, and I made a mistake, Russ. I'm grid tied. Never should have went grid tied. I should have just put a bigger system on, got the batteries, and been done with it. Not saying it's saving me money, but I don't know. What do you got here for Diana?
Okay. She is starting to gather like-minded group count. Yes, that does count, Diana.
100%.
You got to start somewhere.
And Diana, if you need a bunch of the mutual assistance manuals I put together, holler at me. I'll send you a double-fisted handful. Miss Julie finished rotating the water in the aquatainers. Canned potatoes on Monday. I love the Dorns. They are on it. Grab 3 frozen turkeys out of thaw. They'll be cooked and canned this coming Monday. Roy's doing well. He'll be at the local ham radio field day this weekend. Outstanding.
Awesome. They stay busy. Miss Ramona says she canned 16 jars of pickles.
Outstanding. Nick Meacher says that he's trying to get as much training out as he can to the folks that he's associated with. That's that one there. There, take Battle Gnomes.
Okay, Corey said you just did that one.
I know, it's not clicked off. We got more.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. And he ordered things to get his propane fireplace working. So he's ordered all the things he needed for that. So he's working on layers. We always talk about layers,
Backup plan. Rev says he's got some more prescription meds, also filled up my vehicle. What did you fill your vehicle up with? This is kind of cool. Will's here.
Yeah. Reactive targets. Which ones did you end up getting, Will? Let us know.
So he got the ones that show different situations. I see the ads on Facebook all the time, but maybe a hostage situation and stuff like that. So when I get back in town, what we're actually going to do is we're going to build a system where we can flip those targets, and then it's a shoot or no shoot decision. And if it's a shoot decision, it might be a very small target to shoot at, depending on which reactive target it is. Right? If it's somebody sitting behind your wife's head with a gun, then you got to take a little bit of time. So we're going to set that up once I get back. Sandra's got one, Russ.
Yep. Sandra says she is canning everything that will fit in a jar. All righty. I'm not gonna touch that one, Pete.
Two Gun Tommy said he had a busy week. He put in 250 round bales of hay, I'm assuming, last Tuesday. So it is hay season for the Bryce family. So why round and why not square? Just do square. I'm just kidding. That's an inside joke.
Got a couple more.
Yep.
You're over there. You're still in pinned. I'm posting them up. I'm pinning them. So
okay.
Yeah.
Richard Bailey says that he mounted a lot of stuff to the rack of the Santa Cruz, going on vacation, and going to try to stop by Mountain. Oh, nice. Nice.
Awesome.
Go to Julie's.
Okay, Julie's found another seat vault on Prime Days. Should be here tomorrow. They had some pretty good deals on Prime Days, guys. I actually I picked up a Ring doorbell, battery operated, $50, which is 49% off. It was actually a pretty good deal.
That was a good deal. Corey says he's got 20 kW of battery storage. Okay, 2 kW of panels. Gotcha. He needs some more. He needs more panels. I think on my new garage, Russ, I think I'm gonna go completely solar on that, dude.
I don't disagree with that. Yeah,
allegedly.
I don't think I disagree with that. I mean, given this location, there's no trees around it. So it's going to get sun all day. I don't even think the east-west shadows will hit it.
No, it won't be. No, it'll get full-time sun. And the only thing really in there is to charge. Well, first of all, to run a few shop lights, and secondly is to keep the RV batteries charged.
Yep, and all that is a trickle charge.
Well, exactly. So I think that's going to be financially, from a fiscal standpoint, I think that's going to be the best way to go.
So Pete don't have to grab the crowbar out on his wallet.
Well, I did that the other day to go out to Red Rock, and all that fell out was fucking dryer lint. That was for you, Javi, right there. That was put your anyway, Javi.
That's hilarious.
All right, Russ, lead us out, brother.
All righty. All right, folks. Great preps this week. Keep them up. Get some training, guys. If you happen to get a wild hair up your butt, come to Mountain Readiness West. There's going to be a bunch of us out there. It's going to be a good time. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and try to get to know your community. Build that community. That's all I got, Pete.
Sounds good, Russ. Look, we'll see you guys before the 4th. Get prepped up. Obviously, that's a known thing. That's what we talk about all the time. And stay informed, guys. Stay informed. I appreciate every day. I'm trying to get these 3 things we need to know today. What are the top 3 news items we need to know today? Get informed. If anybody you're watching or anybody's telling you, "Oh, I'm not getting involved in politics. I don't do that." Well, then they're not prepping. They're not prepping, guys. So pay attention. Get informed. Keep safe. If you can't keep safe, well, shit, be dangerous. Thanks for watching the Eden Army podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, be safe. If you can't be safe, be dangerous.